know for a fact I am not like the rest of the guys in the NFL.
Talk,
I know I'm a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
I know I'm a top 3 receiver.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
keep going. Keep going.
You know, I just got to prove to people. Right? When I'm working, I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dog.
Now they set him up. They was wrong for that. That's why people been telling you all to stay off these podcasts. Welcome back, y'all. It's your boy Melly, and this is the 111 show. Last video, we talked about Daryl Doucette, who thinks he'd be better at flag football than NFL MVP and Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes. And I think he did himself a disservice by bringing Patrick Mahomes into this, because watching Daryl Doucette's tape, he is more than a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is going to have you in the quarterback category 20 times out of 10. But I saw a video by Flimlo Raps. I'm a fan of the channel. I watch his content. He makes some good content. And I seen the thumbnail and I was like, oh, okay. Irrational confidence in sports is literally built different. He usually got some nice takes, so I wanted to share it with y'all and have a discussion on it. But before we get into this, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you want to see more of these. Without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more of y'all time. Let's get into the video.
I know for a fact I am not like the rest of the guys in the NFL.
Talk,
I know I'm a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
I know I'm a top 3 receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
keep going. Keep going.
You know, I just got to prove to people. Right? When I'm working, I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dog.
Now they set him up. They was wrong for that. That's why people been telling you all to stay off these podcasts. Because Chase Claypool, you also did yourself a disservice by speaking on these numbers. Let your work talk for you, especially in your case. I'm not saying the man ain't talented, but you setting yourself up when you say you a top 3 receiver and then you go out here and have 4 receptions, 51 yards, 1 TD for the 2023 season, averaging 12 yards. I'm not saying that he can't do this, but like, say it to yourself first so you believe it. And this also is Irrational Confidence Exhibit A. So if he truly believes that, that's what he needed to get to the NFL. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you got a sales job, whether you customer service, whether you mopping floors, you got to be confident about the job you doing and adopt that mindset. But in this case, it bit Chase, man. I feel bad, dog. They set him up on the pod.
And we're going to rewind this and we're going to see this clip in a little bit. And they're like, damn.
Can we see numbers?
Right.
Can I hear some numbers?
Yeah, we're going to go 13.
There's a good chance you remember this clip. And obviously things haven't gone the way Claypool expected. As a former athlete, I remember being taught to think this way as a younger player. The whole never think anybody's better than me mentality. This isn't, but it can easily get twisted into something that's the opposite. Something that can ruin an athlete as opposed to making the athlete better. There's a small little distinction that to me is paramount. It's important, it's essential, it's vital, it's crucial. Without it, you will never reach your potential, and that's on or in any field you pursue. That mentality can't be that I'm a top 3 receiver.
Let's check these out. Let's check these out. 2020, that's not a bad year. 2021, that's not a bad year either. These is good years. These are good productive years. Touchdowns is down in 2021, but he still had a lot of yards. What happened in 2022?
And the seasons you played at the time this clip dropped in no way reflected that. Don't get me wrong, the dude had solid years, but if you fail to even put up 1,000 yards receiving, you gotta chill with the top 3 talk. It's like some things are debatable and some things are not. The slight attitude adjustment is simple but essential. Don't lie to yourself and say you know you're top 3 when you're clearly not. Bro, say this instead. I have the potential to be top 3. And that small shift in attitude.
That is well put. That is well put. And this also is shooting yourself some bail in case you put up the numbers you did in 2023, bro. Like you got on this podcast, and I know it probably has some influence. You sitting there, you talking with your boys, you comfortable. Maybe you had a couple drinks, you done ate something, you comfortable. So you like, yeah, I'm top 3, and you got Brandon Marshall in the room with you and Sean McCoy in the room with you, and they like, yeah, talk. But these guys that already did it, they already done been top 3 in their respective positions at one point in time, debatably. So he probably felt like, yeah, like I'm about to get this off, and it was not the time.
Attitude changes everything. First off, when you inflate your ranking so unreasonably, it does one or two things. This depends on whether or not you believe the lie. If you do believe the lie, it gives a false sense of accomplishment. You walk around like you did something that you really haven't done. Don't get me wrong, man. Chase Claypool has accomplished a lot. He's absolutely done things the average person won't ever do. My point is, despite that fact, he's still clearly and obviously inflated his actual status due to a few things. One, peer pressure. He's being egged on here and getting hyped up. This can happen when you get hit.
I promise you I did not watch this video. I promise you I did not watch this video. But this is why I be saying I be agreeing with his takes, because we right here. He just like me for real.
All them in unison, but it still takes a level of irrational confidence to utter this statement the way he did. They didn't put the whole top 3, top 5 words in his mouth. He came up with that on his own.
Receptions.
I know I'm a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
I know I'm a top 3 receiver.
Yeah.
And I think in the long run, that presents more problems than it solves. There's this old saying in boxing by the great Marvin Hagler. He said, it's hard to wake up and do road work at 5 a.m. if you've been sleeping in silk pajamas. He wanted to illustrate how success could sometimes make you more lax and how it can steal away your hunger to improve and get better. So when you falsely inflate your own damn status, you steal away your own hunger by believing a lie. By pretending you've accomplished something that you clearly have not, a lot of times you end up sending the wrong signals to your brain. Now, if you don't believe the lie, it creates inner turmoil. When you can't trust yourself, that doubt lives beneath the surface. And you usually end up putting on these fake displays of confidence that a well-trained eye can see straight through. But if your mentality...
Oh, he talking. Hold on. Is y'all retaining this? He talking right now.
Is... I have the potential to become a top 3 receiver, bro. It changed your whole energy. It changed your whole approach.
One word. I have the potential. One simple word he could have threw in between that word salad of wrongness that he put out. If he just threw in potential.
You change the way other people perceive you, and you start to view yourself as more of a hard worker than just a person with talent. With that type of mentality, even when you do accomplish something, you maintain your hunger because you know you're capable of more. This type of mindset comes with real confidence, not that shallow ass bravado with all that flexing and whatever. It also comes with work ethic and a long-term mindset, focused mainly on the process as opposed to instant numbers. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? Instant numbers are great. We'll take those 100 times out of 100. But if you base your confidence and motivation on numbers,
I remember this coming out last year. Chase Claypool comes under fire from Bears head coach after clips of no effort blocking. 4th year wide receiver could be a healthy scratch. But you a top 3 receiver. You said you was a top 3 receiver. Now, we look at Chase Claypool. I think in draft comps, it was Calvin Johnson because of his size and measurables. And I'm not saying that the man don't work hard and all these things, but this could be a multitude of things that he had going on in Chicago that he probably wasn't getting the ball. The offense wasn't what he thought it was. It wasn't Pittsburgh no more. It probably was losing. He probably being chewed out by the coaches, all kinds of things. But when you own the field getting paid millions of dollars, you got to produce, whether it's blocking or not. The eye in the sky do not lie.
this is what will happen if the numbers don't come. But when you believe in your potential, you want to get the most out of it, which leads to winning behaviors over sustained periods of time. People have aligned something like the Mamba mentality with irrational confidence. They ain't the same thing. Kobe said Mamba mentality is all about focusing on the process, trusting in the hard work when it matters most. A lot of people say they want to be great, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices necessary to actually achieve that greatness. They have other concerns, whether important or not, and they spread themselves thin. That's what Kobe said. Telling everybody that you're just inherently the best. Don't even.
This is like what he did is the opposite of Mamba mentality because he not. Well, we can't see what Chase Claypool doing to work. I'm sure he's working out, but it's not Mamba mentality to tell somebody what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? That's the complete opposite. Wasn't Kobe all about? And I know he not saying that Chase Claypool said he had Mamba mentality, but like this is for the other folks that think it's just about irrational confidence. I never got those two combined. I thought the Mamba mentality thing was just like all hard work type shit.
Offer a path to the Mamba mentality, but believing you have potential to rise to the best. I ain't even got to explain, bro. You see that path clear as day. But all irrational confidence is not created equal. I believe Chase Claypool's came from simple denial. He had access to all the stats and more importantly, the film. His status on his own team, he just chose to ignore all these factors. Kadarius Toney is another guy who falls in this category.
Your number one receiver in this league.
Look at the ball, yeah.
And it ain't just receivers, but Daniel Jones right up there as well. But I think
what's crazy, I know they just got on, bro. Look at that pause. Kadarius Toney just got released today, August 27th, 2024. Kadarius Toney said he a number one receiver. And now he ain't nobody receiver. I hope he land on his feet though. I ain't for unemployment. I ain't for people not getting paid. But
guy in his next clip did believe what he said. And I view this type of irrational confidence completely different.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes because of my IQ of the game. I know he's right now the best in the league. I know he's more accurate. I know he has all these intangibles. But when it comes to flag football, I feel like I know more than him.
On his face, this statement is probably true. I'm sure he knows more about flag football.
They caught him because the end of that he say in flag football, but why? I want to know why he said Patrick Mahomes specifically. Why did he say his name? Why? What was the point of that? You could have said then a lot of NFL guys they could have put on the team. Then everybody gonna be like, well, who you think you better than?
Than Patrick Mahomes. But listen, bro, how long do you really think it takes for one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've ever seen play, who has been coached since day one in the league by one of the greatest offensive minds we've ever seen, to catch up to that knowledge and surpass that knowledge by applying the thousands of reps that he has against the best defenses in the world? The clip shows flag football world champion quarterback Darryl Doucette, who thinks he's better at a form of football than Patrick Mahomes. This is obviously an irrational belief if you have any insight into how an NFL quarterback's mind works. But I think Doucette really believes this and ain't just putting on the fake bravado jacket because it's in fashion right now. He won
Yeah, like if you see how he's playing, he believes it. And if you put them both out there on the team right now, he'd probably outperform Patrick Mahomes. But to Flemlow's point, if you gave Patrick Mahomes time to figure out the game, he's going to surpass him. Well put.
MVP for the top flag football team in the damn world. That comes with a confidence boost. Doucette is really quick, bro, and he's fun to watch play. He makes some good ass passes. Again, he's a flag football world champ. I won't ever disrespect that. The man put in the work and he went out there and accomplished what he set out to accomplish. But better than Mahomes, the logic doesn't hold up. We saw Mahomes dominate in the best football league in the world before he really knew how to actually.
Crazy statement. Because when I was watching quarterback, the man ain't watch no film. They ain't show him cock in and watch no film. Everybody else I seen at least with an iPad or something. This is why exactly I believe he didn't even know if they was in cover 2 or not. If they was in cover 3, cover 4. Man, holes on MVP, Super Bowls, barely any picks. Look at the numbers.
Read defense. His talent allowed him to just learn on the go while still dominating early on natural ability. So why on earth would the same thing not apply to flag football? You know what I'm saying? So even if, which I'm not, but even if I conceded the IQ thing, it still wouldn't matter. But back to the IQ thing, because I have some thoughts on this, and I'll admit this is based on one sentence that I read in this article. It says Darryl Doucette didn't play NCAA football. I read this line and was like, okay, now I get it. So he didn't have to learn a college playbook or go against college defense. Meanwhile, NFL quarterbacks, especially the top ones, are facing the best defenses in the whole damn world. Complex schemes and top tier athletes, with guys trying to force you to beat them by doing what you're worst at. An NFL quarterback's IQ, especially Mahomes, I promise you soars well above Darryl Doucette's. Maybe he doesn't get this because he hasn't had to read a real defense. He plays 7.
With all due respect, you know what I'm saying? Flag football, world champ. I seen Patrick Mahomes easily go up the field on the 49ers and put points on the board. With all due respect, Darryl Doucette, you is playing 7-on-7 against some retired NFL players. Some of them NFL players, but retired NFL players.
7-on-7, bro, and 5-on-5. With that, you can't do much in the way of disguising the coverage, and the defense can't really hide their intent to blitz. It's about as straightforward as football can be. And don't get me wrong, it still requires you to read the field and make the throws. Meanwhile, NFL quarterbacks first off deal with the threat every single play of being knocked on their back. Flag football clears this part of your mind completely. If every NFL quarterback knew they couldn't get hit, or their overall score would go up like 20 points. If you think Patrick Mahomes cannot read this defense and dot this up with absolute ease, especially after having time to watch film and prepare, you got to be crazy, ignorant, or woefully irrational. By the way, I mean the dictionary definition of ignorant. I'm not calling the man dumb. I'm saying he just doesn't know. I just don't want that to come across as too derogatory. There's plenty of things I'm ignorant about. Hockey, for example. I'm just saying the fact that he believes that assimilating to playing against worse athletes, less people in coverage, against less sophisticated schemes, having more time to throw with no threat of getting hit would somehow be harder than playing NFL quarterback at the level Mahomes does suggests that his understanding of the league is severely lacking. I do empathize with the man a little bit. He won the world championship and he deserved respect for that. And I understand him wanting to continue to represent the country in the Olympics like he did in the world championships. But unless you're going for the no allows card, where your primary goal is to be as famous as possible, calling out Mahomes when he said nothing about you, probably not the best way to get the public on your side. And let's say for some reason,
Mahomes, I know everybody don't like Mahomes, but he is well liked. Probably the most well-known quarterback because he's in the public eye. And you chose to say his name. And that's what I've been hanging on. Like, you didn't have to say his name at all. Like, now he for sure is going to be on his Olympic team in LA. And you're going to have to say you want to play a different position because it ain't going to be quarterback. But you just had to say his name.
and NFL players don't participate and then you go out there and lose, you put a target on your back. But to think you better than Mahomes at throwing the ball to receivers, that's legendary level irrational confidence. Now, an athlete needs to have high levels of self-belief that can survive setbacks, disappointments, and failure. This is why irrational confidence is so hard. It's the easiest, most straightforward way to keep a player's spirits high. And you can accomplish a ton with this type of mindset, but it's volatile.
Let me move, guys. Look, I'm gonna show y'all this stat line because I feel like y'all not really.
Your spirits high, and you can accomplish a ton with this type of mindset, but it's volatile, and sometimes it can hurt more than it helps. For Chase Claypool, I think that's the case. For Darryl Doucette, I don't think that's the case. For a 5'8", 140-pound man to become a world champion quarterback, you gotta be irrational. And as long as that irrationality doesn't cause you to break down when things don't go your way initially, then it can be a big help. Also, the way Doucette breaks down his Patrick Mahomes argument, while I don't agree with it, I means to Mahomes in his statement. And the only thing he actually chose to hang his hat on was his IQ of the game. He chose something that he's gained through working on his craft, a skill he's developed, not a raw talent. To me, that means his confidence is based on something tangible. Like Kobe said, trust in his hard work. This is why I said not all irrational confidence is created equal. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think this is the good kind. You might make some enemies along the way with this confidence, but when things are tough, it'll fuel you instead of breaking you down.
That's gonna do it. Team USA wins the first ever men's gold medal in flag football here at the World Games.
So they beat Italy. That's what we played. Man, oh man. Great video by Flimlow. It will be linked below. Let me know what y'all think. Again, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to take his spot after sitting on this a couple days. And because bro was talking all that nonsense about him. Now you done woke up, you done poked the bear. Patrick Mahomes will be in the Olympics. And what was 2028? He will be there in LA. He will be the starting quarterback. I don't know if we'll see Daryl Doucette. I don't know if we'll see him, man. But again, if you made it this far in the video, make sure you like and subscribe. It's been your boy Melly, and I'm about to get us up out of here. Go.